Hey everybody and welcome back. It's Inside Gaming Daily and it's Thursday.
Thursday. Cruise to the end of an utterly uneventful week. Thank you. Real fun doing a news show when there's basically no news. Basically, there is no news.
No.
Alas, we persevere.
We need to go back to the era of yellow journalism where we just invent news.
That's fine with me.
Each night I pray to God above that he delays doom so we can have something to talk about. There's actually a morsel of some hot gossip to chat about today. So everybody, let's talk about how E3 is dead.
Hey.
Again, man, sucks to die once. Imagine dying over and over. Couldn't be me. My body is fragile. When the time comes, I'm gone. I'm not coming back. We're kidding. E3 is still gonna happen this year, but it's lost yet another big name participant. While it's still happening, it's looking by the day.
At this point, the only people attending E3 will be Microsoft and your friend from college who has a great idea for a mobile game.
It's not gonna happen, Steve. Nobody's gonna buy an aardvark dating sim. You're just stoned. What's that? It's integrated with your idea for a weed delivery service. Oh, okay. Congratulations. You've done it.
Wow.
You're a genius.
10 million in
10
VC money.
That's venture capitalist.
Yep.
Okay. So Zach, why don't you break this ish down?
Yeah, so you probably heard that these aren't exactly the best times for E3, per our own reporting. It's dry and dusty out there and the crops aren't looking too hot. E3, ever heard of sprinklers?
You just sacrifice a virgin to ensure good harvest next year.
Yeah, come on. Yeah, so there's been a lot of behind the scenes drama and worse, 2 out of the 3 console makers are completely skipping it. Even though we're about to launch a new console generation, so this is really not good.
You might think things couldn't get any worse, but they have.
Oh.
Ay caramba.
Don't have a shorts, man.
Get off my Butterfinger BBs.
Yeah, industry veteran Geoff Keighley, who has attended the last 25 E3s in a row,
Video games most decorated Green Beret.
served his gaming well. Announced that he's skipping this year's event. I haven't done anything that long other than, I don't know, be alive. And even then I'm calling it close.
While it might not be as big as Sony skipping, it's definitely another loss for E3. It's coming at a time when they can't afford to take any more L's.
Brian coming in with the Zoomer vernacular. Keighley has hosted one of E3's marquee events for years, E3 Coliseum. And it started back in 2017 and it's a live stage show that includes announcements from major developers and publishers.
And dancing girls, singers.
It's okay, we still have the Just Dance booth where we can go see e-girls dance alongside parrots and
Pandas.
Keighley is also the force behind the Game Awards, which has basically become the Oscars for video games, just through sheer force of will and perseverance.
Yeah.
Also interesting to note is that the Xbox Series X made its grand reveal at the Game Awards last year, so he definitely doesn't need E3.
Just like Sony doesn't need E3 anymore. Therein lying one of the core issues. But there's some other weird stuff going on we'll get into as well, right, Zach?
Yeah, I mean, Keighley broke the news yesterday on Twitter writing, "I've made the difficult decision to decline to produce E3 Coliseum. For the first time in 25 years, I will not be participating in E3. I look forward to supporting the industry in other ways and at other events in the future." And then he even took some questions on Twitter. He remains a real man of the people.
He's just like us.
To really put the nail in this E3 coffin, someone asked him if he'd be at Gamescom in August. And he said he's gonna host an event there, so ouch. He's not done with conventions, he's just done with E3. So total conjecture on our part, but we've kind of got to wonder if Sony asked him to do something for the PS5 reveal, rumored to be this month. And again, that's speculation, but it could be pretty interesting if that's the case.
Well, at this point, I'd say E3 is less of a convention, more of a circus.
So how big of a blow is this for E3? Well, industry analyst Michael Pachter wrote that it's a huge loss for the industry, adding, "He really is the best, impossible to replace."
Keighley, we need you for one last convention.
Get you someone who loves you like Pachter loves Keighley. A love story for the ages.
Keighley didn't come out and say exactly why he's skipping E3, but it's clear that he's not a fan of the direction that the event is going. In response to one Twitter question about why he's not participating, he wrote, "I just don't really feel comfortable participating given what I know about the show as of today." What's going on, Jeff? What do you know?
He got a little more specific in some comments to gamesindustry.biz, telling them that, "Given what has been publicly communicated about plans for E3 2020, I just don't feel comfortable participating in the show at this time. I saw the E3 website leak this AM and said, you know what, I really need to let people know what to expect from me so no one is disappointed."
It's really bad when people at such a professional level get sort of personal about this stuff instead of keeping it totally sanitized, so as not to burn bridges. Usually means it's not an unpopular opinion in their circle, and Keighley's circle is like everyone in the industry.
Hideo's in that circle.
Yeah, that circle's like a halo.
Yep.
That's a game. And so that's a big yikes, or a big L, we should say, for the Electronics Entertainment Expo.
ESA did not get the Victory Royale this time around.
And that's from a game.
Yes. Oh yeah, and also it's worth noting that E3 leaked their own website for the show a few hours before Keighley made his announcement, which is a bit of an embarrassing screw up, but by E3 standards, it's pretty minor. It's not like they leaked the personal information of every journalist covering the event or anything. Oh wait. Yeah.
They did do that.
Yeah, Joke's on you, E3. I want complete strangers knowing my address and visiting my house because, fun fact, I am incredibly lonely.
Are you Zach from Inside Gaming? Yes, please, come on. Let down your hair.
But soft, what light through yonder window breaks?
Keighley's comments also make it sound like he's not a fan of E3's plans to revamp the show for this year.
Yeah, that whole plan to turn the Xbox booth into a giant half pipe so that Tony Hawk can attempt the 1280.
Okay, that would be awesome.
Yeah,
That cool as hell.
That rules.
That might actually bring
That would be
awesome.
amazing.
We need the E3 to be more like the
Boom Boom Huck Jam.
Boom Boom Huck. Thank you. Yes, the Boom Boom Huck Jam.
So yeah, it's been reported that the Entertainment Software Association, which runs E3, is going to rebrand E3 as a fan, media, and influencer festival for 2020.
Oh no! Their plan is to focus more heavily on celebrities and paid influencers to draw eyeballs to the event. What's up? I'm here absolutely sucking sh**.
Hey, what is up, gamers? We are here at E3.
Time!
Are you Todd Howard?
Time!
Can I have an autograph, please? Oh, yeah.
What's up, gamers?
I can't imagine why people wouldn't want to be a part of that. This reeks of 6-year-old dudes trying to be hip with the kids and entirely missing the point.
There's also been a lot of backstage drama at the ESA. There was a big report last year in Variety about infighting at the Entertainment Software Association, the group that runs E3. Employees called it a toxic environment rife with internal politics, witch hunts, and infighting.
That sounds awesome.
That's fun. Love getting witch hunted at my place of work.
They also singled out former CEO Michael Gallagher as being very difficult to work with. Some said he was manipulative, moody, and sometimes nasty.
Meanwhile, Sony said recently that it's skipping E3 for the second year in a row.
It's not skipping anymore. It's done. They're gone.
Despite the fact that they've got the PS5 to roll out. And in recent years, EA and Nintendo have pulled back from the event in favor of doing their own presentations.
Because it's 2020 and there is no reason to have a big convention anymore.
Yeah, with the internet and social media, gaming companies have figured out that they don't really need E3 to show off their stuff anymore like, they used to pre-internet. For example, having a pre-recorded event like Nintendo does with their directs is much easier to execute without a hitch. Savor your E3 cringe compilations now before they return to dust from whence they came, because I don't think we're gonna get many anymore, save for just, influencers doing stupid on the floor.
I'm sure they'll still find ways to embarrass themselves.
As long as there's a Ubisoft presentation, there's gonna be some bull. But Microsoft is still hanging in there, and maybe it'll pay off because they will have a lot of floor to themselves. I can't see any downsides to making basically an entire event center around them. So we don't blame Microsoft for hanging around. They're like,
a half pipe really would not be a bad idea.
No, it's a really good idea. As for Keighley, it's possible that the Game Awards is taking up more and more of his time, and it's possible that he wants to break more gaming news on his show rather than someone else's. That makes sense. So yeah, like we said earlier, Microsoft chose the Game Awards last year to unveil the Xbox Series X, which is a pretty big feather in his cap. And I'm sure he wants more reveals like that in the future.
So yeah, this is not great for E3. After Keighley's departure, Wired said that the show's future has never been less certain.
Yeah.
Yikes. In a statement to the Washington Post, the ESA called Keighley a strong industry advocate and champion, adding, "We appreciate his contributions and hope to have future collaborations. In 2020, we look forward to presenting a reimagined E3 that will connect and delight fans worldwide."
Perhaps confections and sweets.
Yes, please, come attend my show.
A large lollipop for every gamer.
How amusing. Probably not coincidentally, just hours after Keighley's announcement, the ESA put out a press release talking about how awesome this year's reimagined E3 is going to be. Whew. Look at how cool and fun we are. Why are you all leaving? Please come back. Please return.
I got a cotton candy machine.
They're like a witch trying to lure children into her heaven.
Don't say the W word around me because I'm liable to hunt.
Yeah, new ESA president and CEO Stanley Pierre-Louis said in the release that, quote, "We're working to make E3 2020 a more interactive and immersive experience with a show floor that will amplify our exhibitors, their innovations, and announcements. In short, there will be no half pipe." Yeah, he also added, "I'm not mad that Geoff left, I'm actually laughing."
Yeah, it's actually pretty funny.
What's his name? Jake?
Geoff? Who, that guy? Pfft.
Yeah, we actually had somebody else in mind this year anyway, so.
They also made sure to include a list of several leading video game companies that will participate in E3, including Xbox, Nintendo, Ubisoft, Bethesda Softworks, Sega, Capcom, Square Enix, and Take-Two.
Sega?
Oh, the game's on here, baby!
With there's no doubt that E3 is not what it used to be. I don't think anyone thinks that. And not so long ago, it was the event on the video game calendar where everyone showed off their latest and greatest gaming consoles.
Yeah, it's been dying by 1,000 cuts, though, and this news is just the latest one.
Despite him bailing on E3 and all its recent troubles, Keighley does think that E3 has a future, but that it needs to change.
He's hitting his ex with the I respect him. He told Games
I hope they get the help they need.
Yes, yeah,
There it
that's
is.
the one. He told Games Industry that we're at an interesting inflection point between physical and digital events, and certainly E3 is in the middle of a transition, evolving from what was traditionally an industry trade show. When you look at it objectively, E3 is really just an idea about uniting the industry and fans to celebrate the medium on a global scale. The future of E3 will be determined based on how effective the brand is at delivering against that goal. Damn, my man's smart. Woo!
He's right. He's right though, right, Zach?
I mean, E3's not really handling this transition well because it's clear that they don't get it. The show's in desperate need of some modernity, and that does not mean influencers. Keighley certainly understood that point and added, I think E3 needs to be more digital, global, and inclusive in its approach to connecting gamers and celebrating the industry. It's not really about who buys a booth on the show floor. Thank you.
Yes, go off.
Go off. You dropped this.
All of this sounds like someone trying to be nice to the person they're dumping. Hey, you're gonna be fine. There's lots of girls who would love to date a guy like you, and then 2 days later they're dating someone way hotter and cooler. Maybe like cool leather jacket.
It's not you, it's
sunglasses.
me. You need to update your business strategy.
Anyway, E3 needs to hit the gym and get a haircut because it was getting much too comfortable in this relationship.
We'll see how this effects turn out at this year's E3, but it's never a great thing to lose big names like this. And at this point, it sounds like E3's best days are far, far, far behind it. Goodbye.
Just a twinkle in the eye.
See ya.
Also, ESA, if you're looking for any influencers, we're nano influencers.
Can you toss me that marker? I want to write
$100,000,
my street address on the trophy here.
Hey, welcome back to Inside Gaming Daily for Tuesday.
Ooh, yeah, we got some hot E3 drama for your Tuesday. Sony says it's skipping E3 again.
Whoa!
Yeah, which could be really bad news for the future of the conference.
Oh no, a day without E3.
Hang on. The future of the conference is in trouble.